All right, today we're going to be showing you how to change the oil on a Cat 259D and also the air filter. We are also going to be showing you how to do the fuel filter. All right, to do the air filter, very simple. Open up these 3 clamps on it. Pull off the air filter housing. And this should probably be done every 150 to 200 hours, if not sooner. This one has probably been about that 200 mark, and you will see that this thing is just filthy, man. Depending on what area of the country you live in, it might be more frequent or less. We're in Reno, Nevada, and it is very, very dusty here. So there's an inner and an outer. One time, I had one of my guys do the air filter change, and he actually put this air filter on backwards. And surprisingly enough, the machine did still run. This was on an older Bobcat a few years ago. But he put this on backwards somehow, just like that. And it was smoking and sounded funny, and it was just, I don't know what the hell was wrong with it. So I pulled everything apart. I found that this was backwards and flipped it back, and it ran perfectly fine. But the air filter, when you're doing the air filter change, you're gonna wanna clean all this stuff out and make sure it's real nice and clean so you don't get any dust in there. So once you got your housing all cleaned up, nice and clean, you're gonna take your new one, the inner air filter, you're gonna push it on. You're gonna make sure it's not backwards, obviously, make sure it's not backwards. Then you're gonna take your outer air filter. Just gonna put it right there, right on. Then you're gonna take your cover, put your cover back on. There's 2 bolts right here. We just take one out and then slide it around. So this is where you're gonna take out the oil drain plug. All right, we got our oil draining into our catch basin here. All right, so here is the tricky part. You have right back there your oil filter. And you gotta get in there, get it off. We're gonna stuff some rags under here so we don't get too much of a mess. All right, we got the oil filter loose, about to take it off. Got our rags in there. We're gonna pull it out and swap out the new one. And as always, we're gonna take some of the old oil or new fresh oil. We're gonna rub it around this gasket, get it all nice and lubed up. Okay, you can see we got the new filter back in, and I would recommend not putting any rags down here. Just taking the oil filter off, letting it drain back into the pan down here, into your cap. So before you put your little slide plate back on to cover up the drain plug, just leave it open, take off the oil filter, let it drain into there, wipe up the mess, let it drain. That's the best way. Alrighty, now that we got our oil filter back on, nice and snugged up, our mess cleaned up, we're gonna come up top and we are going to take our oil cap off and we are going to fill it up. This particular unit takes 3 gallons with a full oil change. And we always use the Cat oil, the Cat filters, just easier. They throw it on our account, the guys go pick it up, and I can do it when I get a chance. So that's the way it works out for us. All right, we filled up the oil with our oil fill with our 3 gallons of oil. And we're gonna go ahead and fire it up, let it warm up, and make sure we don't have any leaks. We ran the machine, made sure there's no leaks, checked the oil filter, no leaks there. The drain plug, no leaks there. So we double checked our oil, and 3 gallons was just a little bit shy. Just a little bit less than a quart. So we added that, and now we're perfect and ready to roll. Oil change done. We're gonna go ahead and grease up everything. Just looking for all the grease zerks on it. Here, one thing Cat did that's really cool is they added this one here that goes back and around and behind. Like on a Bobcat, I don't know about the newer ones, but the last one we had, there's like a hole cut out right here, and you gotta try to angle it, and it's just such a pain. And then the ones that are up here, you gotta lift the arm up, and then and then grease it, and then put the arm back down to grease the other one, and it's just a pain. I'm sure they kind of figured it out on the new one, but just go around and find everything that moves, everything that articulates, and it's gonna have a grease zerk. Wipe it off clean with a rag first, get it all cleaned up so you don't get dirt in there. Yeah, just keep pumping until you see grease come out. Like on this one, you'll see it came out right here. Right there, grease started coming out. It's good. And then I recommend greasing everything every day. I think Cat recommends every 10 hours, which is basically a day. So you should always be greasing your machine, whether it's at the end of the week if you guys don't use it, you know, a full day, or every day if you guys are using it, you know, 8 to 10 hours a day. Definitely do it every day. So we're almost all the way drained here with our fuel filter water separator housing. Drain it into this jug so we can properly dispose of it. And then I'll show you how to change the filter. All right, now that we got the fuel drained from the filter, you unscrew the housing here. Take it out and drain out the rest of your fuel into your appropriate container. Pull your filter out and change it out. Now that you got your filter in, just repeat the process in reverse. I asked the Cat dealer to sell me everything for a $500 service, and they give you the fuel filter, which is a water fuel separator, the oil filter, all that. But there's a secondary fuel filter here, and as you can tell, this is full of crap. So I'm gonna go get that tomorrow and swap that thing out. So if you guys are going down to the Cat dealership, make sure you get that filter too, because that's definitely something that needs to be replaced at the same time.